are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 279 as we kick off 3 Legacies week here. I am joined by the passionate protagonist, Just Jay. What's going on? What's going on?
I'm doing great. I am pumped for this Saturday. What about you? Everything all right with you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And as you said there, we are getting ready for all things 3 Legacies Wrestling Red Rose Rumble. Number 2 is the second of what looks to be an annual event here for 3 Legacies Wrestling, as it is going to be a stacked night from the 3 Legacies Rumble itself. From just, there's so much going on. The Red Rose Rumble event is going to be stacked. But before we get into all that, before we get into the Rumble, before we get into the stacked 4-way you're going to be involved in, I have to ask you a question. Ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, when you hear the term the craft, what does that mean to you?
Okay. So to me, that really means like in and out of the ring. Like what are you doing to like benefit that? The craft, it's wrestling, it's promos, it's character, everything that has to do with wrestling, really. That isn't just the bumps.
Got you. No, that works. That truly is. It's an all encompassing thing. You know, it's all in one.
that's the better word. I'm terrible with big words.
All good. Shout out to, we got Lottie in the chat. What's going on? We got AJ Morales just showing some love here. Just Jay.
Hey.
There you go. Oh, and there goes the tripod again. At this point, I don't think Jay can hear us. I was like, there goes the tripod again.
Did it move? No, I think the tripod's good this time.
Okay. This time it was just the headphones that were.
Yeah, this time I had a brain fart.
We're not gonna stay on. It's all good. But as we continue here, now I do want to get into that. What was it for you though that made you decide to step into that 3 Legacies Academy and want to decide to step into the squared circle?
It was a real easy decision for me. I mean, wrestling has been my life for like the past ever. I don't remember one moment in life where it hasn't been in my life.
Gotcha.
So it's always been the answer. I mean, if you asked anybody around me that was around me when I was a child, I've never really had any other goal besides being a wrestler. I didn't want to be like a doctor or a lawyer or a fireman or whatever the normal kids have as goals. I've always just wanted to be a wrestler. So when I saw that 3 Legacies was open, it was like a given that I'd do it, you know?
Oh, that works. And again, it's one of those where I feel like, especially for those that have decided to join in, it's always been that thing that just sticks, that it's like, this is it. It's wanting to get in here. It's wanting to do this. It's just finding the way. And then with the amazing 3 Legacies Academy now being a thing, shout out again to Jesus Ricardo Rodriguez and the amazing team there, truly training the best that are coming out now. But here we go. We got my good brother Emmanuel be facing this weekend. Smiley in the building. Good evening. What's going on, Smiley? What's going on?
Smiley.
We got AJ saying Super Gen, the absolute best. There you go.
No, that's facts right there.
We're definitely going to be touching on that a bit. But before we get into that part of it, I do want to now find, again, stepping into the academy is one thing. Stepping in and deciding, you know what, we're going to try this out, see how it goes is one thing. For you, what was that moment where it clicked, where it's like, you know what, this was the right decision? This wasn't just let's try it out. Okay, this was cool, but this might not be the thing. What was it for you that like it clicked and it's like, okay, this was the right choice, you know?
Oh, okay. Honestly, it was the third day.
Okay.
Because funny story. The first day that I was there was like more new people there, of course.
Okay.
And I'm the only one that third day that was still there.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it clicked. Like, all right, I'm clearly here for a reason.
Yes.
Like, everyone else is gone. You know, everyone else that was new there is gone. I'm clearly here for a purpose. So yeah, it was kind of like that third day where it was like, all right, it's like, this is where I have to be.
Gotcha. No, it showed because especially like you said, it's going that third day in now. You're going back and back and back. It's like, nope, we're still here. We're gonna keep pushing through. We're gonna keep persevering here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see because I know for a lot of people, and it was for myself. Like when the first bump I took, it was like, okay, there goes my air. But at the same time, it's like, I want to do it again. And it's still one of those things where now I've said it multiple times on here and I'll continue to say it. I love my job as a broadcaster. I love doing commentary. I'll stay there because it's less painful at times. But I still do miss the bumps. Like that's the one thing that I don't know if that's unfortunately the part of us that is just the wacky side of being in the business. That it's like that first time you take the bump, it's like, okay, let me find my air again. But it's like, I want to do this again.
Yeah, I want to say like when I took that first bump, I was so I tried to be that cool person, you know. I got up, did everything fine, and then coach tells me, "Is like, oh, don't worry, you'll feel it in the morning." And I'm just there like, yeah, I'm chilling though. This was great. Everything's fine. I wake up that next day hating life.
Oh yeah.
The entire
that again, if you don't feel it in the moment, it's like cool. Adrenaline is there. It's your best friend. The next day, oh my neck, oh my back, oh why can't I? What is that? What is this that hurts? Something hurts, but I don't know what exactly this is.
I'm finding out more things about my body that I didn't know existed at the time. Like, oh, why does this area hurt? Ah, gosh, everything.
And it's one of those things now where I look at it. I first started training. I want to say it was 17, 18. I'm now as a 26. Friend of mine are still calling me the young one, but I'm like, yeah, no, my body now reminds me we're not as young as when we started this because my neck still hurts on certain days for no reason. So yeah, gotta love our amazing craft here.
Yeah, the weird, amazing craft that we.
But as we continue here, now again, you're finding that this is your craft. This is something you want to keep pushing through. This is something you want to do. How do we now find the passionate protagonist here? How do we find that? How do we start developing who Just Jay is?
Took like so many months. So many. I have anxiety. Like we all have anxiety, but it was very hard to just like come out and like have something ready for myself when I open my mouth, it's like bleh. So I kind of took towards like anime inspired. And like you have passionate. I'm very passionate about wrestling, very passionate about anime, very passionate about all the things that I like.
Got you.
Protagonist, that's kind of obvious, of course. Like it's all I've found what I like, and I'm just being myself really, which is something that I couldn't really do in the beginning because once again, everything that comes out is bleh.
Got you. No, and again, it's finding yourself. Like it's one of those things that I feel anyone that is in this or stepping into this or now learning about how this goes, it's one of those where it is getting comfortable. I think who was it that said it the other day? Someone said this, and I hate that I can't remember the line, but it's Sean Donovan said this the other day about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable in a sense in this business. And it's one of those where it's so true. Like you start to find yourself in a way that it's like you have to just embrace who you are in this, and being able to use that and be able to use now become again the passionate protagonist here. It works so well. It's one of those though that now it gives you that development of when the character continues to evolve. Will we see a passionate antagonist eventually? Who knows? Who knows what can occur here?
I mean, yeah, as long as everyone leaves me alone, I should be good. We should be getting protagonists for like ever, as long as I'm left alone.
well then, in a show like Saturday, I don't know how much that will happen because again, The Red Rose Rumble is going down this Saturday night, a stacked event featuring some of the best from all around and including the amazing crop coming up from the Three Legacies Academy. But we have to talk about this matchup right here, as it will be a fatal four-way featuring the likes of Al Snook, featuring the likes of my good brother Smiley, featuring TJ Perkins, and then just Jay. So before we get into the match, just your thoughts on the three competitors you're going in there with on Saturday.
All right. For one, I hate Al Snook. I hate him. I hate him. All right. I got beef with that man. All right. Let's just get that out the way now.
Yeah,
Smiley, I have a love-hate relationship with. If you've seen in Three Legacies Wrestling, I did face him before and lost by getting dropped on my head. So I hated that.
He does that a lot. He does that to people. He's my brother, but he's done that to me. I have to be unbiased but biased at the same time because I still have this on my arm. So yeah. There's a Smiley tattoo on me as we speak.
But at the same time, I love him. Like he's been so instrumental in who I am and who I've found out myself to be, really.
Gotcha.
Even in that match that we had in December, even just the promo alone where he's like he called out like me and why am I in my head? Why am I so nervous about this? Like I've worked hard for this and this and the third. I should be more confident. And even just that alone made me like open up and like, yeah, all right. So respect. He kind of helped me a lot. I still have beef with him for dropping me on my head, but
he does that. He might do it again Saturday. I'm just warning you now. He's a little ticked off right now. He's trying to do his own thing. He's trying to do something, and he doesn't like no Superman. So at times you never know what Smiley you're gonna get. Sometimes he's a little more chaotic, if you will. Sometimes he's a little more friendly.
Right.
Sometimes he's a little in between. Sometimes he gets a little delirious, if you will. So you never know what Smiley you're gonna get.
That's very true. That is 100% true. One day he is the best teacher.
Yep.
And then the next he is dropping you on your head. So that is
that's sometimes in the same moment. Sometimes it's like you're gonna be teaching a nice lesson, and then it's you're getting dropped on your head.
Yep.
Because this has happened to me on certain occasions. We're having a nice conversation, just talking, and then he'll say stratisfaction. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh. And I'm on my face. And I'm like, oh, that's what he meant. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So remember what I said earlier about that first bump? He was a part of that first bump. So yeah, he was there for a few of those bumps. And when I'm still technically my second weekend, just taking out of nowhere springboard 450 because he thought it would be fun. So gotta love Smiley. But with that, those are two out of the three. The third, though, being former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, winner of the Cruiserweight Classic, former X Division Champion. He is TJP. Also, member currently of the United Empire. We saw that amazing vignette getting closer to this match here. Your thoughts on facing TJP?
I grew up watching this man. First off, I grew up watching when he had like a couple when he was like younger and having a couple matches on the undercard of New Japan.
Okay.
And so like I've been paying attention to him ever since I could remember. And just the fact that I'm in the same match as him is so crazy to think about. It is like nerve-wracking and like I can't tell you the amount of nerves that are going through my body even as we're talking about him. It's like, wow. Like I grew up watching him. I watched the entirety of the CWC live. And even there's not enough words that can describe just how good he is. But that also just makes me that much more determined.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've been given the trust to be in this match. That has to mean something, you know? You don't just put TJP against anybody.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's me, the fact that it's Smiley, the fact that it's Snook, although I hate Snook.
I'll let him know. We are speaking of Al Snook this week, so I'll let him know your disdain for him.
Oh God, I hate that man. But at the same time, it makes me determined, and it makes me want to further prove myself. The fact that I'm in there with TJP. But geez, man, I'm facing TJP. That's that's the best part.
It's an opportunity like this, especially on a stage like this. I spoke to Ricardo last week, and we just spoke about how much, again, just the excitement that it's been about the Red Rose Rumble 2 event. Like, so many people that are going to be there. Just the stacked roster that's going to be there. You have TJP there. You have, again, the amazing crop that's coming out of the Three Legacies Academy. You have La Resistance that are going to be there. Shark Boy, Ken Anderson, just a who's who of amazing talent. And it is a match like this that you get to truly see a nice showcase of here with 4 amazing talent. And again, it's that do or die moment, because TJP is definitely not going to pull out any of the stops. It's gonna be all gas, no brakes in a match like this.
Yeah.
Like I said, Smiley is one of those where, again, he's unpredictable. You never know what Smiley you're gonna get that night, and especially knowing that TJP has that side. He's known to be very manic, if you will. He is known to be a little more into the darker side as of late in New Japan. So, I don't know. Or would we get the United Empire more technical assassin TJP? You never know what you're gonna get there.
That is very true.
And then with Al Snook, we're gonna try to get into his mind this week on the podcast. So I'm gonna try to. I'll give you some details after I speak with him to let you know what he thinks.
Don't believe a word that man says.
Got you.
All right. Don't believe he said that we were brothers, and then he turned on the company. So we're not.
That's a constant thing I've heard, that he's very he's turned his back on a lot of people, including the person I'm going to be speaking with in a little under an hour, Byron Simmons here. So we're gonna talk to him about that as well.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. I'd lock your doors. I'd get extra security. That man. Ugh.
Got you. Okay. I did not know this at the time of scheduling this interview. So yeah. Smiley, I'm gonna need some assistance.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, no, don't trust that man whatsoever. Scum.
But as we continue here, we want to the focus is here on the passionate protagonist, so we're going to continue here. And I want to bring up, again, AJ brought it up earlier, saying Super Gen the absolute best. I want to bring that up. I want to bring up Super Gen and just how did that come about?
So right. I'm gonna start off by saying I hate AJ, right? Because this all happened.
You have a lot of hate today. What for such a passionate and positive person? There's a lot of hate.
So I can't
for the ring on Saturday. That's where you need to embrace the hate, if you will.
That's very true. I came into the academy like a couple months before AJ.
Okay.
And I was like the youngest person there, so like, all the eyes and all the attention were like, let's make sure Jay knows what he's doing and all of that. And then AJ came. And then that springy guy. I love him to death, but he is so athletic, so gifted, and it bothers me, right? And so what happened was we were all training, and somebody by the name of Bro Keller, who is actually in the main event on Saturday, came up to us and was like, you guys have very, very good chemistry. You guys should really consider teaming. After I stopped hating AJ, in my head, I'm like, he's right. And then AJ said, he's right. To which I know it's kind of corny, but that's pretty much how it formed.
That makes sense. It's one of those where it's like, you know what? Let's put that hate to a side, that professional hatred, and let's create something super here, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, right. The name comes from so I'm a huge wrestling nerd. I love All Japan. If you remember the Super Generation Army with Misawa Kawada,
Yes.
that's literally where the name comes from. I I just love pure wrestling. I said that wrong, but I just love Japanese pro wrestling.
No, it works. It works. It's that pure strong style. It's that just it's an art of truly what the Respect the Craft podcast is even based around. If you look at the
Mhm.
background of the podcast, you can kind of see a love for pure style wrestling might I wonder where this is adapted from.
Hmm.
Some honor might be displayed here. I don't know. I don't know. But
But
no,
all
that
jokes
is
aside, yeah, all
yeah.
jokes aside, I love AJ. He is
That
my
is that
brother.
is that
I
is
love him.
awesome. And
I
again,
just
you gotta love
yeah.
that. You gotta love to see again that unity there and using again both talents there to create something amazing. And here we go. We gotta ask him about Super Gen versus American Psychos. This is time again, my brother Smiley.
Look,
So we must know about Super Gen versus American Psychos.
all right, look. Well, there's not much to say. I mean, we beat them. That's really it. But
Oh,
there's not really much to say.
remember,
No, I'm just
Smiley is
saying.
also coming on the podcast on Wednesday, so he's going to tell me
I'm
the,
just
the
saying.
the other side of the story.
We beat them. We kicked Byron square in the head. Like we uh we just
Oh,
won.
AJ says, and the broken ring. Oh, there was a broken ring. Oh
God.
no! Oh no!
Yeah, we wrestled them but before our match, like the first match that happened, broke the ring.
Oh no!
So, yeah.
Oh man, that which sounds like a perfect thing for a match like this. It's like, yeah, of course the ring's just gonna. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was funny
Oh,
too
that
cuz
is
they were
awesome.
like the people before us, they were like we didn't do anything. And then you look back and they did like this crazy bump which broke it. We're just like, nothing, huh? But yeah. Either way, at the end of the day, we still beat them. Doesn't matter ring broken or not. We still beat Smiley. All right. I just want that to be known and put it on record. All right. I beat Smiley. I beat Byron. Just want that to be on record. All right.
So again, you might not want to keep saying that when we want to remind everyone this Saturday, Red Rose Rumble 2. In said fatal four way will be both Just Jay and Smiley. So again, we want the happier Smiley. Let's not remind him multiple times we've beaten him.
Do we want the happy Smiley?
I don't know. I know if I were in the ring with him, I would want the happier Smiley. I don't know what you would want. What
I
Smiley
want
do
the
you want to see?
I want the best version of Smiley.
Ah, that's a good answer. That's a good. See
The absolute best.
that works.
Because I don't want to beat him and then it's like, all right, you didn't get true Smiley.
Yeah,
Like I don't want that looming over my head. I want to beat him knowing that I beat the best version of Smiley.
got you. Got you.
Um,
Again, this
yeah.
is a Smiley that again has done a lot. Like I said, he's faced off against a man he idolized in Delirious. He has faced his own trainer and gone to war countless times with him as well. So I don't know which Smiley you want to see. Like you said, you want the best. Like with Smiley, that's still an unpredictable rope to walk on. So we shall see. We shall see what happens this Saturday at the Red Rose Rumble. But as we continue back to Just Jay here, I wanna ask you this, and this one's gonna be another tough one. Because in your short career so far, still very young in the career, still lots of moments and matches to come. I have to ask you this, and that is for yourself right now, what would be one match that you would say that defines your career so far?
Oof. There's two, and they came back to back,
Okay.
or like like the different it would have to be the match that I had with Smiley.
Okay.
And then the match that I had with Tarzan a month later.
Okay.
Smiley more because, like I said, it made me like sit and think like, why am I in my head all day? Why am I nervous? Like, I wanted this as a little kid. I shouldn't be in my head about it. And he really like made me think during that match. Tarzan more because if you look at who I am as a person, I stand on values. And Tarzan more represented me fighting for something, even if not everybody agreed with what I was fighting for. So it would have to be those two, especially because of how up on the card they are in Three Legacies.
Gotcha.
It would honestly probably have to be those two.
Gotcha. No, and again, both of those being truly, again, it's those tests, it's those moments of seeing, like that original question I asked earlier, of what made it click. You know, what was that moment that it's like, this is that right choice here, and having matches like that shows we're on that right path. You know. So
Yeah,
that's always awesome to look at. But now with matches, you've had matches that are coming up. Now we want to get into this, and again, you don't have to give just one name here if you want to give a few, because I know this is going to be a very loaded question here. For yourself, who are some competitors you would like to face? Who are some matches we could throw out there to the world to see? Because we've done it before. We've made some matches happen. One of those I'm still going to say, because we put it out there a few times, of Smiley versus Delirious. So things have happened because of putting it out here on the podcast. So for yourself, who are some matches you would like to have? Who are some opponents you would like to face?
Besides, of course, the Fatal 4-Way coming up.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I still want my one-on-one with Bro Keller.
Okay.
All right. That Bro Keller has taught me a lot, and he's responsible for Super Gen. He's responsible for a lot of moves that I do. He's helped me a lot. So like, of course I want that one-on-one with him.
Gotcha.
Montequilla.
Ooh, okay.
When I first started out, he was a big fixture on the Three Legacy shows, and just watching his movements and like how he engages with the crowd, I really want that match. That's something that I really, really want. Okay. Besides them two, in terms of Three Legacies, I think that would have to be it. Besides, of course, wanting to beat up Al Snook a lot.
I will let him know this Friday, 7 p.m. 6 p.m. My apologies. I sit down with Al Snook, so we'll let him know. We'll let him know how much disdain there is for him, and we'll see what he reciprocates on Friday.
Right.
So tune in for that, everyone.
Besides that, I want to have a one-on-one match with Ricardo Rodriguez.
Ooh, okay.
He's my coach. Like, he's taught me so much. He's helped me out in times where I didn't realize I needed help. Plus, I want to go to the school after and brag that I beat him. So,
that could happen. That would be a good thing to be able to next day be like, ha.
Right. Another couple, like just people that I grew up watching, honestly. Besides like the big names, I'm trying to go for like people that like, because I can say like Bryan Danielson and all of that, and but I'm trying to go with people that are a bit more realistic.
Hey, again, we are in a time right now in wrestling that the craziest things are happening right now. A collaboration, because you're around my age, that we never thought would happen, of TNA and WWE is the thing. So never say never in this business anymore. It is truly true. I'll steal a line of my Theo's the SAT, expect the unexpected. You never know what can happen. So shoot your shots here. Shoot your shots. This is what we like.
Look,
AJ even threw it out there. Super Generation versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And I had Alex Shelley on here. Amazing person, amazing conversation. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Look, if that's what we're going with, all right. Bryan Danielson, Chad Gable, Katsuyori Shibata,
Oof. Okay, there
Okada.
you go. There you go. See, no, and Shibata. Oh man, Shibata still being in a ring now. It brightens my day just to see him still be able to do what he loves. Like,
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
yeah. And then I'm gonna. Is it all right if I name some tag team
Yes, of course.
wrestlers?
Yeah, I think AJ would love to hear that too.
Yeah. The obvious one being Motor City.
Yeah.
Super. We have a lot of our movements are inspired by Motor City. I grew up watching Alex Shelley when he was in Paparazzi Productions,
Yes.
and I really have, like, Motor City Machine Guns is my favorite tag team of all time personally.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So Motor City, I really selfishly I really want to wrestle the Miracle Generation.
That makes sense. Super Gen, Miracle Gen. Makes sense.
See whose generation's better.
That works. That works.
Sinner and Saint.
Yeah. Okay.
The Workhorsemen. Violence is Forever is a team I really want to wrestle. Like,
that is especially for the style that you said you really love. That would be bad. That I will say this for the Workhorsemen, I have taken a JD Drake chop, and talk. You want to talk about maybe that moment not feeling it the next day. My chest was black and blue for maybe a good 2 weeks.
That's the thing. Like, I know it's gonna hurt like hell.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt like hell.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like, all right, I just wrestled the Workhorsemen. I just wrestled Violence is Forever. My body hurts, but screw it, man. I just wrestled some of the top tag teams.
Smiley just threw out a name there. The current AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland. That would be a dope match right there. But AJ threw out a team there, a little bit of the Rascals. But now, which pairing, AJ? Because there is 4 of them. Is it Zachary Wentz and Wesley? Is it Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel? Is it pairing of Zachary Wentz and Myron Reed? Or is it again any fixture of the 4? Because there's 4 of them.
MSK.
Okay, we want MSK again. They explained how it works. If it's just Zach and Wesley, it is MSK.
MSK. If it's all of them, it
is the Rascals.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of comparisons to both Rascals and Swerve.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, somebody said recently that for some reason, I don't know why, but they were like, Just Jay is Swerve Strickland if Swerve Strickland was into anime.
I can see it.
Oh, interesting.
I can see it. I feel like hey, we're gonna throw it out there. Like I said, you never know what can happen. We're gonna throw it out. Whenever I get to have a conversation with Swerve Strickland, we're gonna bring this up. Hey, do you happen to like anime? Because if not, I have a friend who he looks very much. He has that aura that's just like you. And he likes anime. So we're gonna throw that out there. We're gonna throw that out there when the Swerve Strickland interview happens. We're gonna throw that out there.
Yeah. And then the Rascals, we get a lot of comparisons because like they do this, we do this, we do their assisted moonsault, and like, I mean, I think the Rascals are dope, man.
No, it is one of those where especially for this generation, you see just how much they've been influenced. Like I said, and I said it on here, the Motor City Machine Guns were one of my favorite tag teams. But you see how much they have influenced that next generation, that influence a team like the Rascals to be a thing, you know? And that continues to proceed with the next teams and the next teams, including yourself and AJ, and just what continues to happen with the next crop of amazing talent, you know?
Yeah. I do have one team in my head that I really want to wrestle that will never happen because they're both in separate companies.
Again, let's throw it out there. Who would this be? No,
so if you paid attention in TNA in like 2005, 2006, there was a team that was put together of AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels.
Okay. No, that's my thing. I was a big fan of their run, especially of them being the ones to dethrone America's Most Wanted, and for them to be a team that it was such a perfect pairing of just their combinations, and especially about how many matches they went against each other. There was like their chemistry was something like none other. But imagine now a seasoned AJ Styles and a seasoned Christopher Daniels. Oh man. Oh man. Someone make you know what? This is the match now we're gonna put out there. We're gonna make the graphic. And Smiley knows I'll do it. So we're gonna do this here. We're gonna put it out into the wrestling universe of a reunion of AJ Styles and the fallen angel Christopher Daniels versus Super Gen.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna put that out there and see. Because again, crazier things have happened, and you never know what could happen in professional wrestling. So we'll keep we'll keep it going.
Very true.
Oh, there you go. This is a good question here, Smiley. Smiley, would you like to do my interview here? Smiley asks, which you prefer, singles or tag team wrestling?
Oof. For my body, tag.
Hey, it makes sense. It makes sense. That moment of just you get that breather, of like, okay, I'll come in and okay, cool, hot tag. Here we go.
Right, like my body tag. Honestly, I'm growing up. I was so into both that they're both very much there. Like I can't choose one over the other realistically. Because in my head, I'm always like, you can be a tag guy and still be a single star.
Yeah.
You look at Motor City, both of them have held the TNA World Championship.
Yep.
The Briscoes now, both of them have held the Ring of Honor World title. Yep. You can do both. You don't have to be just a singles guy, just a tag guy. Yeah. So I really can't decide one or the other. The only thing that would make tag win would be my body. Like that would be the only.
I got you, but it shows though how much it's such a perfect pairing at times that it's like it showcases two amazing talents. And tag team wrestling to me has always been something that I love the art of tag team wrestling. I love what it's done for professional wrestling, what it's evolved into, and just you see such amazing stories being told even in the match itself, you know? And it's always great to see when two teams that you could tell are truly passionate about that. So I've always been fond of tag team wrestling, and just to see what it continues to be and what it can do for our craft here.
Yeah. For me, I have all of my favorite, like not all, but like a bunch of my favorite matches are tag team wrestling matches.
Yeah.
So tag team wrestling is very important. But yeah. Same with singles.
No, definitely. It's one of those where again, it's the I feel like it's gonna be the always depending on the day, you might answer a little differently. You never know what's coming here. But again, it's the having the love for both. And again, this Saturday, it comes in a whole different environment because it is a multi-person, but this time there's no tags, there is no partners, this is everyone for themselves here, as it will be TJP, Just Jay, Smiley, and for some reason, I guess we're gonna call him the Dastardly Al Snook. And I feel like the thing is, he seems so nice. He seems like he's a good guy. I don't know. Yeah, I'll find out Friday, I guess.
He seems so nice until you catch a spear from him. All of a sudden, it's not really nice.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. That he spears a lot of people that he supposedly was cool with. I'm gonna find out Friday. I'm glad it is over the program and it's not, because I am offering in-person interviews now. I'm glad it's not that. I possibly would have received, I guess, a spear when I'm not looking. So, yeah. So, but as we start wrapping this up here, though, Jay, I have one final question for you, and that is for yourself here. What is the end goal?
Whoa, that's a loaded question. That comes with a lot of mental health talk.
Hey, we've done it before. It's always a great topic here.
Honestly, for me, it's just happiness, because a lot of people can say like, oh, when they sign that contract, it's there. It's or like if I go to Japan, it's there. For me, it's it's just whether I'm happy or not. That's kind of the end game. Because I can still sign that contract and be unhappy. I can still go overseas and still be unhappy. It's more about if I'm happy. That's really it. I don't have I don't have main goals for myself about like signing anything or going overseas or anything. My main goal is just if I'm happy.
Got you. Yeah, that works. And again, it's one of those where it should be always that pursuit of happiness. And in a business like this, um, that can mean a lot of things. That can be different things. And again, just doing this, having opportunities like this Saturday can do things like that. So here we go. We have Tammy Kennedy saying Snook going to get his butt kicked. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna get jumped.
Snook is not very light. Snook, I will find out Friday. I guess I will find out Friday. But before I let you go, because that's usually my final question. However, I do want to ask one more because the way we started this was you saying that it started out with that love from a kid, having that love for professional wrestling, having that love of even again different styles of professional wrestling, seeing that growth now, seeing from the love of just it to now getting to be a part of it. What has been that biggest thing that you've learned so far that you never would have thought, huh, this is what I would get from wanting to fully engulf in the business here?
Um, I don't I don't know. Um, I guess for me, because of once again anxiety and all of that, like communication,
Gotcha.
just in terms of like market communication in terms of like marketing yourself and because when you are not signed, it is you have to market like a motherfucker. Yes. Oh, sorry, I did not mean
No,
that.
it is fine. Cursing is allowed.
Sorry. Yeah, that just came. I'm sorry about that.
No, it is
But
funny because it's what we spoke about before we started shooting. And it's one of those where again, social media is key. Doing this is key. It's one
uh-huh.
of those where you have to again plug away like we're about to do right now. Make sure if you guys haven't already, follow Just Jay on the Instagram right there, Just J353. Make sure you are following Three Legacies Wrestling as well on their social media right there. 3L Wrestling on Instagram, at 3Legacies on X, and make sure you stay up to date because again, this is how you find out what's coming next from not only Three Legacies Wrestling, but also Just Jay, and finding out what happens this Saturday by being there and getting your tickets. It will be a huge fatal four-way matchup brought to you and presented by the amazing people at We Like Wrestling Podcast, and that will all be a part of the Red Rose Rumble 2 event. And we are continuing Three Legacies Week here on the podcast. We'll be back at 7 o'clock with Byron Simmons. And the week continues as we continue the week here, getting ready for the Red Rose Rumble 2 event. But Jay, again, thank you so much for joining us here. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed, and everyone watching, come back at 7 p.m. as we continue the week. And as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. And we'll see you guys on the next one.